What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Middle of the Ring Pro Wrestling Talk. We are reviewing Monday Night Raw from Baltimore yesterday. Let's get into it, right into it. Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Nia Brooks for a number one contendership match for the Women's WWE Raw SmackDown Championship held by Charlotte. Good match overall. All three of them brought their A game. Nice to see them giving the women a nice length on matches and a pretty good damn storyline, to be quite honest. Sasha Banks comes out with the win, pinning Bayley. And so that will be our women's title match at Raw's pay-per-view, Night of Champions. Or I'm sorry, Clash of Champions. So it'll be Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the women's championship. Next match was Bo Dallas. He pretty much had a jobbers match. Really wasn't nothing excited about that, but it was on the show, so we got to look at it. The next match, or the next segment, we had Y2J in the highlight reel with Sami Zayn. Good little interaction between these two. At the end of it, Chris Jericho slaps Sami Zayn with an iPhone, I believe, damaging up his iPhone. So I'm assuming he's getting the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus. So, but that little interaction led us to Clash of Champions, Jericho versus Sami Zayn. So that will be an interesting match, good match. Both of them are good workers. Chris Jericho, ultimate heel right now, so we are amped for that match, ready to see it. The next match was the best of 7 match between Cesaro and Sheamus. Now, rumor has it, and it has been confirmed, Cesaro got a win over Sheamus in a house show last week sometime. So the count is now, at the time of that, before that match last night, was 3-1. So now, coming to Monday Night Raw, Cesaro gets the win. Had to use the ropes a little bit for leverage, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. We now are at 3-2. So it's I pretty much see this match going like the whole 7, and with the conclusion pretty much happening at Clash of Champions. But it was a good match overall, so we're gonna look forward to that match at Clash of Champions. Next little backstage segment had Mick Foley with Seth Rollins. A little back and forth, pretty much same old politics. Don't do this, do that. I do what I want. Blah 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 blah. But it was a nice little break. The next match on the list, Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. Pretty much a jobbers match. Alicia Fox really hasn't been doing anything as of late. And Nia Jax is pretty much on a rampage. So it pretty much was going to go that way. Now, they may do another match because it's probably about time for Nia Jax to actually have some competition. So we'll look forward to see what kind of competition she will finally get out of her. The next match we're going to look at, and I don't know if I did this in the right order, but is going to be New Day and the Club. New Day first came out, cut that promo, had to apologize for just the horribleness of the promo the Club did last week with the Old Day. 5 minutes and 36 seconds, I believe. They said they wasted of our time, so it was good for them to come out and do their promo, laugh, haha, giggy, giggy. And then the Club come out. They pretty much threw it back to when they first came in there, just being ruthless, aggression, mean, beat up people. They pretty much got back to that formula, and I think that formula is what works. It's what works the best for the Club. So I was glad to see that. They did end up coming out with the win against the New Day, if I'm not mistaken. But that match will also be happening at Clash of Champions. A little fuzzy on why they gave us the match 2 weeks before Clash of Champions, but then again, you got 2 weeks, so I guess it's okay. The next match we have is Enzo versus Epico. Epico, from the Shining Stars of Mexico. They're in the timeshare business now, I see. Enzo and Cass, we all know and love. But Enzo and Epico pretty much had a match. Nice little match. It was pretty solid. Didn't really go as long as I would have liked it to go, but nonetheless, it was a match. A little shenanigans from Epico's partner. I forget his name off the top, but a little shenanigans with that, which cost Enzo the match. Now I'm pretty sure they will meet up again, probably at Clash of Champions, but nothing set in stone yet. But I would assume they would probably go at Clash of Champions, which will be a good match to see because you'll give it a little bit more time to rock out. The next and last match, and if I missed any matches, people please let me know in the comments. But the last match of the night, I have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. They had a good match, a pay-per-view quality match, if you ask me. A lot of kickouts, a lot of false finishes, a lot of back and forth. You really thought Roman Reigns was going to be in there to make that match a triple threat match. And then some days, some moments, you just realized Kevin Owens may knock this one out the park, and we may just get a one-on-one between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Towards the end of that match, we had some outside interference from Rousseff. Rousseff has been out since, I'm assuming, since SummerSlam, I think, or right after SummerSlam. I guess, he had they ran a storyline of him having messed up ribs, Roman Reigns breaking his ribs or something of that nature. But I think he was pretty much on his honeymoon, which I ain't mad at him. But Rusev back in WWE, and he cost Roman Reigns that match, interference. Roman Reigns took his eye off the ball for a split second, hitting Rusev with that Superman punch, and got tied up for the 1-2-3 from Kevin Owens. So now we will have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title at Classic Champions, and more than likely you'll have Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States Championship at Clash of Champions. All in all, this Monday Night Raw was pretty good, pretty entertaining. Had my focus. There were some moments that really didn't strike me as entertaining. Really wasn't paying attention. Ajax and Alicia Fox really didn't have my attention, but you kind of watched. Bo Dallas definitely didn't have my attention. I didn't even catch the kid's name who we wrestled. I didn't even watch the promo. I think I may have went to get me something to drink. It was one of them bathroom matches, pretty much. So, all in all, I'm giving Raw let's just say a B. B. Solid show. Solid showing. They got about, 2 more weeks to get that Clash of Champions to make it an interesting pay-per-view. I think they're on a good road. So, with that being said, this is NP. As always, for all your wrestling news and information, you ain't got to go nowhere else. Just meet me in the middle of the ring. Later, y'all. All right, people, don't forget to like this video and share it with your family and friends. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Middle of the Ring Pro Wrestling Talk. Also, follow us on Facebook at Middle of the Ring, all one word. We're also on Twitter at Middle of the Ring, also all one word.